Sleigh bells ringing, diamonds blinging, carols singing, favorite season.
What's up, guys? How you guys doing? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Ebun. If it's your first time on my channel, thank you so much for stopping by. You are welcome. Make sure you do not leave without subscribing to my channel. Please, let's get to 800 subscribers. I'm really loving my background in this video. It's not so special, but it's just a little bit different, which I like. So today we're going to be talking about tips for creating a resume, basically. Just talking about resumes here in Canada in general. So talking about resumes, to be honest, there's no major difference between resumes, well, Canadian resumes and like other resumes. I think it's just subtle differences, and it's basically differences in like the emphasis and differences in the structure of the resume. Basically, resume is a summary of your skills, education, experience, and just everything, summary of all of that together in a single document for the hiring manager to review. People just use CVs, some people use resumes, so I think it's just used like interchangeably here in Canada. And I think resumes used more frequently here, actually. I think so. So CV, resume is the same. Some people just say resume, like some use CV, some will say CV/resume or resume/CV. Either way, it's the same thing. There are two major differences, or not differences, there's two major formats of resumes here in Canada. There's the reverse chronological resume and there's the functional resume. It's almost the same thing, it's just some differences. The reverse chronological resume focuses on like experience, and then the functional focuses on skill. The reverse chronological resume is like, I think it's most commonly used here, and that just focuses on your employment history, usually in the same role you're applying for. Obviously, hiring managers are more familiar with this format, and I think it's the best format to go for because they'll be able to understand your experience more, your employment history more, and stuff like that for the role you're applying for. So like I said, the second one is the functional resume, which focuses more on your skills and not really like your experience. And this resume is most beneficial for like recent graduates. So if you're just out of school, you do not have any experience, or people that are looking to change like careers, so you're looking to move from one field to an entirely different field, so you don't really have experience in the new field you're going to, but you do have skills that will help you learn and grow and just convince them that you're able to do the job even though you're kind of new. Do you get? So in this video, I'm just going to be focusing more on the reverse chronological resume. That name is just too long, please. There's like a structure, kind of like a structure for it, but it's kind of flexible. Obviously, there's the resume header, which holds like your name and contact details, like your phone number and like email address. And some new immigrants actually put like their status, like a work permit or Canadian permanent residence status, kind of. I don't think it's mandatory, but some people do it just so like when the employer sees that the employment history is like all in another country, for example, is all in Nigeria, it's not in Canada, they are aware that, oh, this person just moved here and that's why. So some people do that, but it's not like mandatory. It's not like a deal breaker. If you don't do it, you'll be fine. The next is personal summary, and this, you know, first impression matters. Just put your best foot forward, and it's basically a paragraph to like set the tone of your resume. Just make sure you write something concise, impactful, and like relevant to the position you're applying for. Don't go and give long story about your life history, or I was this, I was this, I was that. It's not necessary. Nobody really cares about that. Plus, these hiring managers do not have the time in the world to be reading like a long story, so just make sure you're like going straight to the point. The next one is professional experience, and this is like the bulk of your resume. This is like the major part of your resume. So this is where you summarize your employment history, usually from like the latest / the most recent to the oldest one, and that's why hence the name reverse chronological, because you're going in reverse. So here you state like the company, the city or country where like the work was done, or where you were working, you know, the dates that you worked and what you actually did. Also your job role. In the details of the job that you did or what you actually did, make sure you back it with quantifiable achievements. Don't just say I was involved in sales. You were involved in sales, which increased 15% of the hype yourself. Don't underestimate yourself. You know, you need to get that job, and you know, you have to believe in yourself first. You have to be confident. Don't go and lie. I didn't say go and lie, but just make sure, you know, you're stating whatever you're stating, you're backing it up with like the results. Don't just say what you did, you know, what happened when you did what you did, that kind of stuff. I would also say like study the job description or the role or the company. Like on the company website, for example, you know, they put the role, this is what you're going to be doing. Take keywords from the job description and add it to your own resume. The reason why I say this is because most people use like, is it an applicant tracking system or something? I don't remember the name. If I do, I'll put it on the screen. If not, please go research it. Thank you. But they usually use this as the first step or level, so they pass everyone's resumes through that process, and then that system identifies, basically like sorts out resumes. So if your resume has like keywords in that's from the job description itself, it'll be much easier. At least you pass through the first stage where you can then talk to a human being, you know, the hiring manager. So just make sure you highlight and take keywords, because I think they use like keywords for that to like separate and like sort out the resumes, at least for the first step. So it's very essential you take keywords from the job description and add it to your resume. It will help you. Basically, just make sure you demonstrate that you have the experience needed for that job. The next one is educational and professional qualifications. So like I mentioned in my previous video, this is where you can add like certificates that's useful in that role. Don't add certificates that is not important or that will not help anything. You're just occupying space. Just certificates that will be useful in that role, you know. Also your educational history, or what school you attended, when did you attend it, when did you finish, for example. We just put the date range from 2013 to 2019, for example, to 2018. You know, just put it there. If you've not graduated yet, but you already know your graduation date, just put the proposed graduation date yet. That will work. I don't think you have to put like your CGPA, I don't know, but some jobs actually require that, like when you're trying to fill in the application. I don't know, but it depends. I don't think it's that mandatory, but this is basically where you just put your educational and professional qualification. And there can be a skills section where you can add any additional skills you have, or proficient in Excel, this and that, all of that stuff. You can dump it here. The functional resume is actually the same. The only thing is emphasis on the skills. You don't really have so much employment history, or some people don't even have at all. I don't know, but that's because you don't really have experience yet. So you focus on like your skills. So that's like the bulk of the resume. So before I wrap up, let me just say like things you should not do, or basically let me just say like tips. First of all, there's no need to add like resume or a CV again in the resume document. So at the top where you have your name, no need to say Ebun Peter's resume. Just Ebun Peter. Just your name is fine. There's no need to add resume or CV again anywhere in the document, because it is already a resume. You can also add, at the header page, you can also add like your LinkedIn URL, so that way the hiring managers can go there to go check you out as well. That's why I said make sure your LinkedIn is updated. I said that in my previous video. So yeah, you can add the URL at the top as well. Do not include date of birth, your age, where you were born. Nobody cares about any of that. You don't even need to put your address. You can put like province, like for example Ontario, Canada, just so they are aware of where you are. So on the top should just be your name, your contact information, that's your phone number, email. You can put your LinkedIn URL, and you can put like Ontario, Canada, for example, your location. No need to put your full address. It's not necessary. They're not going to come to your house to visit you. When you get the job, you know, you fill all of that, the required information out, but on the resume, it's not necessary. Also, do not make your resume too long. I mean, 1 page is enough, but if you're like so experienced, you have years and years and years of experience, I'll say like 2 pages max. It's too long. Nobody has time. Nobody got time for that. Nobody got time to be reading 4 pages, 5 pages, 6 pages resume. Because of what I do, that is working towards. Make sure your English is written in English or French, because those are the 2 major languages here in Canada. And make sure your grammar is correct. You can use this Grammarly tool or app. It's just going to help you ensure that your grammar is accurate, you're using the right word for the right sentence and things like that. Strong communication skills is very essential, and it's like seen in like all of the job applications or all of the job requirements here in this Canada. So if they're looking at your resume and they're saying that this one cannot even spell, how are you going to communicate with like clients and communicate with your employees? Well, I say employees, communicate with your colleagues and stuff. So make sure your grammar is accurate. If you have to give someone else to proofread for you, do that. There's no shame. There's no, forget about shame. You see, you're looking for a job, forget about shame. You're looking for money, forget about shame. Just do what needs to be done to get what you want. Do you understand? So just make sure your grammar is correct. Don't feel like you know all the grammar in the world and you don't proofread. You don't proofread your resume, you don't proofread your cover letter. It's not going to help you. Don't just say we. Don't say the team. Don't say the company. You're not looking for a job for the company, you're not looking for a job for the team, you're not looking for a job for we, you're looking for a job for yourself. So I did this and this happened. Don't say we did this and this happened. Honestly, I feel like if you don't have Canadian experience, it's not the end of the world. I didn't have Canadian experience, but I still got a job, although it took me a long time, but I still got a job. But if you do have Canadian experience, good for you. That's why I encourage you, if you can't find a job when you're in school, that would be very helpful because you can add it to your resume, because they love their Canadian experience. But honestly, it's not the end of the world. Or if you worked with like international projects or international teams, just state it there. Hype yourself. Don't underestimate yourself. The work that you've done in the past, showcase it. You understand? They need you. That's why they are putting it out in public for people to apply. They need people like you to apply. They need your skills and stuff like that. So don't just think, as much as they're doing you a favor by paying you, you are also doing them a favor, you know, by working and making sure everything is smooth. So state all your achievements that is necessary, especially for the role that you're in. It's going to really help your chances. Make sure, try to customize your resume. You can have one document that has all of your experience in different fields and everything, but for each application you have to customize your resume. It's very hard, it's very annoying. Trust me, it got to a point in my job application process that I did not customize again. You see that resume, I just sent. Maybe that's why I didn't even get a job fast. But I was honestly exhausted, I was tired. It's actually draining, it's mentally draining. You know, applying to 10 jobs a day, applying to 12 jobs a day is crazy. But you have to do what you have to do. Don't be like me. Sometimes I do not even customize. Many times I do not customize. Many times I don't even remember the company I applied to because it was crazy. But you actually have to customize your resume, to be honest, to fit the requirements. And one reason is what I said earlier about people, about the companies like using like the first applicant tracking system, whatever. I don't even know if that's the name, but it sounds like that's the name. It is. Sounds like that's it. Like using that first, so that helps to sort out resumes. So you have to add like keywords and like stuff from the job description, and just to help your chances or improve your chances. And finally, make sure your the format structure is great. The same font size, the line spacing, everything should look attractive, should look sweet. Anyway, that's all I have for this video. I hope you guys learned a thing or two. If you have more tips, please leave it in the comment section down below. If you have any questions, let me know, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Please subscribe, like, share, and yeah, I guess this is another vlogmas video, so enjoy watching.